And I am your host, Knuckle Brew the host, and we're going to be discussing AEW Dynamite this evening on March 25th, 2026. We're coming live from Minnesota, straight from Minnesota. And the biggest thing coming out of this show, we got Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland Part 2. And the biggest thing coming out of this was we had the number one contendership from Swerve. He was going for the EVP powers of Kenny Omega. And this match, it was pretty good. And I can't complain about it. It didn't deliver like the first one we had back in February, but it did deliver in spades. Very good match. Like I say, I can't compare it to the first one because it could be recency bias. I don't know what it could be. It just didn't hit the same like it did in February. But this match was pretty good. Omega goes over, and I find that to be very, very easy formulaic booking. And the reason before that is we had a chance to get a big story by Swerve winning the EVP powers from Kenny Omega. And if we would have went that route, we could have explored so much into the lore of AEW by giving someone else who was not initially with the company, giving them the powers of the EVP, and we could just explore whatever that could be. Because EVP powers, when it comes to the fans, we really don't know what that means. Are you just a trustee? Did you just buy in? What is the extent of your power? We saw the Young Bucks exploit this power in their arc not too long ago, but we can see it where it comes from just another angle if we would have just gave it up to Swerve Strickland. But Tony Khan chose not to go that route. He chose to give us a route where we're just going to have a great match between Omega and MJF. And that's not a bad route, but it's just lazy. Because the biggest thing going out of this is, are you really prepared to take that belt off of MJF right now when you do have some momentum going against that bigger company who is having their biggest season of the year so far that's coming up? Are you really prepared a week before WrestleMania to take the belt off of MJF to give it to Kenny Omega, which is not a star-making moment? Omega's already been champion in this company multiple times, matter of fact. So are we really want to go that route? That's why I find it very lazy to go that route. And like I say, this match, it was pretty good. We had the vertebraker spot. We had multiple V-triggers. We had Swerve Strickland go for a V-trigger, and Kenny Omega wasn't having any of it. We had a V-trigger attempt from Kenny Omega to Swerve, and Swerve got the ref in the first match. He got the ref in the way of a V-trigger. He tried it again by pulling on Aubrey's shirt. It didn't work this time. So, like I said, we got Omega winning, and we're going to have Omega and MJF at Dynasty. Will it be interesting? It will be a good match, but will it be interesting? Because a lot of people want to see Omega and Ospreay maybe at All In, but is this company really prepared to move away from their young champion in MJF, who is a spark plug, who can sell matches in promos? He can sell it in interviews with these journalists. He goes on these television shows and these podcasts, and he's so strong as a salesman, because that's the biggest thing you need in your champion. It's not about being a great match. It's not about up here giving you just these spectacular moves. That's only for mark fans. You need to be able to sell this to other people as well. We need to sell it to the casuals, not just the marks like me up here wearing MJF's up here wearing this scarf. Anyway, Big Hebrew, we're not men around here. Better than you, and you know it. But yes, you need to have a champion who's prepared to go out here and talk it. It ain't about up here delivering these 5-star matches so Dave Meltzer glazes all over himself. It's about growing now. It's year 7 for AEW. You have some momentum. It's time to grow. And to grow, you must be able to talk it. And I know fans be like, "Oh man, I'm sick of. I don't go to wrestling shows to hear a lot of talk. I want to see graps. I want to see hands. I want to see arm drags and hip tosses and suplexes." That sounds good, but this is also a television show, and for this show to grow, you must have must-see television at all times. It's not about up here just throwing 6 matches on the card and just say, "Oh yeah, our wrestling show's great." That's not how this goes. This is about ginning up excitement. And not everybody be like, "You're getting away from the match analysis." This ties into it all. Because if you're going to go this route with Kenny Omega, which I feel like his championship arc should have been longer, we have all of 2026. It's April. It is, well, it's not even April yet. We got Dynasty coming up in a couple weeks. It will be in April. We are still in March. We have all these months of television to go. And you can drive it with Kenny Omega chasing after the title. And we burnt that already. We have burnt that bridge to give us a match in Vancouver at Dynasty. And we don't know, with Tony Khan, he likes the hometown pop for you win there. He loves that. But he also loves the hype he's getting from MJF, who is a legit movie star and is also the face of the franchise when it comes to AEW. So by having Omega win, it's very complicated because you will be changing the trajectory of your company for the rest of 2026 if you decide to take that belt off of MJF in April. We got Double or Nothing coming. We got All In coming. We got the summer coming. Like, real talk, the summer is on the way. And are you prepared to put it on an older man who's had the title already? Or you want to give the title to someone to make them a star later? And I believe you should go that route. But yes, like I said, Kenny wins, and we're gonna go from there. After that, Will Ospreay gives us a promo, and it's very fiery. He comes out and he's giving the business to Mox. He's challenging Mox. He's challenging Pac. And the thing about it is, Ospreay wants that get back from when he hurt his neck last year. And he's dwelling on that, and they're selling us this story. And it's complicated again because Mox is face now. But we gotta give him heel heat. But he won't give us heel heat in his promos. So complicated. The whole thesis of this episode, even though we set up things for Dynasty, is complicated as fuck. So yes, this promo from Ospreay was pretty good because he's not really a great promo, not the best talker, but he did get his point across in this promo. He says he wants that motherfucker. That's basically what he said. He got it bleeped out. He said, "I want that motherfucker at Dynasty." And guess what? That's what you're going to get. So again, I give this a good promo from Ospreay. We go into match 2. We get the Death Riders with Mox, Garcia, and Shafir. It's a mixed tag match against Top Flight and Zeta Steel. This is where this episode kind of lost steam. We started off A1 hot with Swerve and Omega, and we come in next with this piss break match. The Death Riders win. Of course they win, because just think about if you just opened up a game of Fight for Forever. Just say you updated it, modded it out. You got Moxley, who's probably a 95 rating. No one on Top Flight is in the 80s. Nobody. So Mox by himself should wipe out that crew. Danny Garcia's over Top Flight. Why would I take them seriously against the Continental Champion and the Death Riders? There's no way you sell that. So you're going to give me guys who are going for the championship in the first match coming down here and give me Mox against jobbers in a mixed tag match. You can't. This bad formatting for your television show. Bad. It's bad. So we lost steam off that one. Again, Death Riders win. After this, Mox cuts a promo. He accepts Ospreay's demand for Dynasty, but he says, in the meantime, don't let your mouth get you in trouble. So he's basically trying to drum up a little heel heat by saying, don't you fuck with us until Dynasty. But They come back later and give us an update and say there will be Ospreay versus Pac next week on Dynamite. So yes, we just had Darby go through the Death Riders. We're about to have Ospreay go through the Death Riders. This Death Rider arc never ends with this company. I don't understand it. We're going to just have it. We're going to have face mocks, heel faction until we get some heel heat dynasty for mocks. It doesn't make any sense. Complicated as fuck. The horse is confused. You let me know how y'all feel about it in the chat. I'm confused as fuck about it. Very complicated. I don't know. I really don't know. So after this, we get match number 3. And with match number 3, we get Speedball Mike Bailey going against Ricky Romero. And people be like, who is, not even Ricky, I got his name wrong because I don't know who he is. It's Rocky Romero. I have to say it again. We go from Swerve and Kenny Omega to Mox jobbing out guys until we go to Speedball Mike Bailey against Rocky Romero. This is on television. This is a ROH match. This shouldn't even be on Dynamite. I give it Collision. It would be great for this. This is on your A show. And people are like, Collision and Dynamite on the same. No, they're not. Go look at the ratings. Dynamite doubles Collision. This is the A show. You can't, and they're trying to sell us Speedball Mike Bailey as a universal threat against Rocky Romero. I don't care, bro. I don't. And Speedball is a good in-ring wrestler. His presentation is weak. Little man gives you small kick moves. And I don't want to hear that he's got this 4 or 5 time black belt type stuff. This is wrestling, dog. It's all about presentation. I do not fear Speedball Mike Bailey. You don't fear him. Why are you selling him as your 3rd match of the night? Speedball wins, beats Rocky Romero because Romero is a jobber of the Don Callis family. You don't even know what number Romero is. Do you care? I didn't think so because I don't. So yeah, that's match number 3. The best thing about this wrestling show is they give you wrestling. They're going to give you that. But they're not going to give you people that you actually want to pay top dollar to see. This is not what you pay for. You're not paying to see jobbers when you go work all week. You go slave at that job. You pay for your kids. You pay for your wife. You pay for everybody. And you sit up here and you watching Rocky Romero. Why? You're watching Top Flight in Zeta Steel on the A show. That's what you're watching. It doesn't work like that. It needs better. You deserve better, and you should ask for better. Tony Khan does not know how to capitalize off momentum. He destroys it. He destroys it. You could have had more women on this show because you just lost your ace woman to whatever it is. They say she's out for however long. Build up your division. But no, you're giving Rocky Romero TV time. You're giving Top Flight TV time. Where's Athena? Where? We got Mercedes up here fighting in Canada. When you need your stars, Hangman's on break. I know I was talking about women, but yes, your stars are on break. It's sad, bro. And you're giving these other people all these opportunities who are not going to go anywhere. You're not going to push them anywhere. They're just bodies. Bodies that sit up there and take an L. But the people that's winning, you're not even going to push them. You ain't. Where's Speedball going to go? For what? He going to beat Kyle Fletcher? We just saw that match. You going to have it? He going to take the TNT off him? No time soon. What? Daniel Garcia ain't going to do nothing. I'm going nowhere. He's a lackey. He kicks it with Moxley. That's it. You're not going to push. And you got Marina and Zeta Steel. You just had Marina job out last week to Mina. And Mina got her first winning, and God knows when. I don't know the direction of this show. But anyway, we go to the next segment. We get MJF. He comes out and he's strutting his stuff. Big Hebrew, always talking that shit. He comes out here and tells you, giving Minnesota the business. He said, I'm the one that hung Hangman. Now, coming from me, I have said we need to stop hanging people on AEW shows. As you see, the hue of me, I'm not for hanging people. But yeah, I'm going to report to you what he said. He says, I'm the man that hanged Hangman. That's a fact. Happened in Revolution. He said, I'm going to make sure, and I don't know how many times he said it. He said the word ever like he was skipping on a CD. So he might have said ever about 20 times. He's like, ever, 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 times ever, whatever. Says he will never, ever be able to contend for this belt again. And that's a fact. And he says, I'm better than you, and you know it. And he gives you another catchphrase. It says, you want to live with the devil. Big Hebrew was strutting his stuff tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And as he was talking, we have Kenny Omega to come out and interrupt our champion. And Omega comes out. He puts himself over, puts the crowd over. He starts to embrace the God of pro wrestling title that's been given to him from the crowd. He says, so if I want to contend against the devil, it must going to be a God that's going to have to defeat him. They go up here. He tries to shake MJF's hand for the match at Dynasty. MJF says, you get your match. He ain't shaking his hand, though. Walks off on his ass like a peon, like Big Hebrew should. No respect for him. Give a fuck. He walks straight off on him, disrespectfully, as he should. Triple B. We don't shake hands with mid people. I don't care if you do call him the God of pro wrestling. He's mid to Big Hebrew. We don't fuck with that. But yes, this is actually a decent segment. The second best part of the show, Omega was part of both of them, so I will give him grace on that. But this helped pick up those two back-to-back jobber matches that we had on this show. So shout out to MJF for raising the quality of the show, as I was talking about earlier. He is the guy that raises the roof of the company. And you got Kenny Omega to come up there and piggyback with him. And I will say this, Omega need to spruce up his energy some on these promos. They want to build him as this wrestling star. And for marks, he is. But for people that want to just come and watch this show for the first time, they'll say, well, that guy with the belt, that guy, he has juice. He's kind of exciting. But the guy he's going against, oh, he's kind of pale. He ain't got much energy to his speaking. He sounds, his words are okay, but where's the juice? Where's the of the match? And that's what I was talking about earlier. You have to have a champion that can get you ready for matches. Get if you want to tell your girlfriend about this, about wrestling, get her into it. She'll watch MJF before she watch Kenny Omega. Because MJF is going to give you energy to feed into and be like, okay, I want to watch that. I'll pay 42 such and such for that. So, yeah. We go to our next match after this. And that match ended up being, if I make sure I get this right. Well, before I go to match 4, we had a Cope interview backstage. And he was talking about how FTR spiked pile drove Beth Phoenix. And he was saying he didn't know about how Beth was going to recover. He said, are y'all prepared to throw everything away? He said, which you did. He said, I play with your kids. You play with my kids. You ate dinner at our house. Beth cooked you meals, and you do that to Beth? Yeah, Cope was upset. He was selling that passion, and it was very energetic, and he got you going. If you were a Cope fan, you felt this promo. And I was right there with him. And I'm not even a Cope fan. I don't dislike him either, but he sold this match. He sold the energy for it like an old pro should. So after this, FTR comes out. And you know Stokely comes out. He's the most interesting man in the group because FTR sucks. Their promos suck. Without Big Stoke, they suck. I'm tired. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I guess I got too impassioned. I'm sick of FTR with these belts. They bore me to all get out. Good team in ring, that's not good enough. They are not entertaining men. They talking about top men. Top men. Boring men. That's what they are. Bore fest men. That's what they are. But anyway, they come out there, they're talking about, they call Cope a nostalgia act. They say Christian's a nostalgia act. And he said, I don't care, or Cash say, I don't care nothing about your wife. Dax called him a nostalgia act. And we get those guys up out of here, talking about top guys out. They couldn't get off the screen quick enough. Again, let Big Stoke do the talking. Nobody wants to hear Dax Harwood talk. Nobody wants to hear Cash Wheeler talk. They are terrible with mics in their hands. I don't care how long they went, how many championships they've won. I don't care how long they've been wrestling. They cannot sell me a match on their own by talking. This is a big part of wrestling. Promo skills. You got to be able to get the words off to get people excited. It's just really because these matches, and I'm not just talking about no story in the ring telling me, oh man, I got to work the leg, got to work the toe, work the elbow. No. Give me ready to watch this match before you get up there and throw anything. I need the excitement. I need that. I am a fan of your product. I want to be juiced going into a match. I don't need to be watching the match after I've paid $40+ to sit up here and just like, oh man, he's gonna work the ankle. Oh man, he's got a concussion. He's gonna work the head. No, that ain't good enough, partner. No, sell your match. Do better. Be better men. That's all I'm asking. So yes, after that we get match 4. We get the Dogs versus the conglomeration of Orange and Roddy. Again, why are we keep this feud going? I thought this feud was dead at Revolution when Darby and the conglomeration beat the Dogs then. Why have the Dogs have not moved on to someone else? We got Clark Connors and David Finlay. That we're trying to build stars in this company, right? Why are they still up here fighting the same people? Like, what are we doing, bro? What is this booking? Like, you should have the Dogs going for tag team titles, but they still up here fighting Roddy Strong and Orange Cassidy, who have no momentum, none. Cassidy and I don't know the last time Orange Cassidy had momentum with Tony Storm because they would sit up here in this little comedy sideshow thing when they were dancing in the ring. And Roddy Strong had no motion since Blood and Guts when Kyle O'Reilly was getting all the motion, making Mox tap out and stuff. Where is that guy? Where's O'Reilly? Find Kyle O'Reilly, please. Let us know where Kyle O'Reilly is, please. I would like to know what was the point of that little push that he had up here tapping out former AEW champion, tapping him out multiple times, and he goes away. What happened, bro? What happened? But we pushing Rod Strong? Why are we doing that? He's a jobber, just like Orange Cassidy. Jobbers. They're boring on television. Yeah, pockets. We don't care about pockets. Pockets day is over. That was years ago. Pockets ain't got no motion. None. Tony loves this guy, but I don't even know why. Like, man, he's not even, what's the utility in this man? He ain't selling nothing. You want to buy an Orange Cassidy t-shirt? Not me. I don't understand it. But yeah, the Dogs win. Clark Connors and Finlay, they pinned Cassidy, and that's your match. Didn't care nothing about it. I'm starting to just be completely off the Dogs. And I already know who they were when they came, and then they jumped ship to AEW. I just learned who they were, and I don't have a reason to care. Like, you put the trios titles on Mystico, Jets, and Jet Speed, you could have put on the Dogs. Get them something to do. But no, they still going to use the conglomeration. What's next? Orange and Briscoe? Like, I'm sick of this. This feud is dead. No one cares about it. Darby's already moved on, and he was the only interesting guy here. And I don't even like Darby, but he's the only interesting one here. We go to Darby later. But yeah, after this, we had a Divine Dominion promo. They look like some real ass kickers. I love them with them belts. Megan Bain has needed a championship, and all we want Penelope Ford to recover well. But Lena Cross and Megan Bain look like some real ass kickers. Them some big ass women. They look like they'll beat your shit in, and you can't do nothing but respect it. And the house loves big intimidating women. They look like wrestlers. They don't look like little models out here. They look like they came to whoop your ass, and I can respect that. That is showmanship, and I hope they hold them titles for a while. So they come out here to cut a promo because Willow and Harley Cameron want a rematch, and basically Divine Dominion's like there is no rematch. There, there is no rematch. There's only defeat for you. I mean, just instead of just kicking dust in their face, knocking them out, nothing. These big ass women have nothing for them. So they do have the rematch at Collision on Saturday. More than likely, the Divine Dominion are not going to lose anytime soon. I see them holding belts to All In. So be prepared for that. But back to pushing the women in this company. We got Toni Storm out here out for the rest of the year. Mercedes is not going to be back till she loses the rest of those belts, which might be in about 3 weeks. We need to put more women on the A show. And I hear about them in the IWC every day. I hear about they say Tony Khan can't book women. So I've been really intently watching this unfold before my eyes. And if you are not Mercedes Moné or Toni Storm, he can't book you correctly, and he won't. Look at Willow. Willow just fought twice at Revolution. For what? She should have just had that one title match, but the fact you boxed her in with 2 titles, she had to go lose one of them, and you still don't book her correctly. When the next time she's going to defend that TBS championship? Like, I don't understand. Like, you got Athena wasting away in ROH. You got Red Velvet wasting away in ROH. You got Deonna Purrazzo wasting away in ROH. You could bring Persephone up. Like, there is so many women that need to be on this television show that could help drive up some ratings, but yet you put guys like the Dogs and the Conglomeration on there who ain't gonna get no casuals to come watch this show. They're like, man, who are these weird people out here? None of these people look like just strong wrestlers. David Finlay got some size to him, but other than that, man, ain't nobody looking at Roddy Strong and be like, oh man, he's gonna push units for your show. Oh, good wrestler though. That's the problem here. We up here just selling on good wrestling. AEW, when they say this is one of the best wrestlers, their name is not lying to you. These people put on good wrestling matches. But the thing about it is, this is an aesthetics business. You need to have big men. You had to bring in some cruiserweights. You got to have your spectrum of men, and you got to have bad women. That's how you sell a wrestling show. That's how you do it. And Tony Khan does not understand that. He just don't. And I want him to do better on that, because you've already hired good talent to wrestle. Get us the people that we need to be watching. That's going to move units, man. I'm here to help you. I'm a fan of the product. I'm here to help you if you need it, Tony Khan. Come holler at me. I'm here. So yeah, after that promo, we had Kyle Fletcher comes in. He putting himself over saying he's gonna be the best TNT champion of all time. Then next thing, Takeshita comes in. They kiss and make up. Well, they ain't kissing real life, but they made up saying Proto Sheeta was before Proto Okada, and there's no breaking us up. There's no breaking us up. So they hug it out. Yeah. So I don't care about that. I mean, Takeshita lost to Mox at Revolution. He up here shaking his hand, and you come in, you finna just play nice with Kyle Fletcher, so Don Callis don't send the people after you. Whatever. They are losing me with this, because Okada Takeshita supposed to be on this collision course, and I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand it. Don't get it at all. So, match 5, we had that women's championship with Tekla versus Mina Shirakawa, the most interesting woman in AEW. I don't care what y'all say. Mina is the most interesting woman in AEW. So, yes, Tekla wins, and she wins by shenanigans. She goes out here to pull out her belt, and the ref grabs the belt, takes the belt away from her. He's up there looking the other way. Tekla goes into her bra, pulls out silver knucks, not brass knucks, silver knucks. We just had brass knucks on Monday. We got silver knucks on Wednesday. Tekla's up here trying to hit Mina with the knucks. Mina dodges the first time. She tries to get her into the ropes for a suplex. Tekla shakes her off. Bow! Hits her dead in the head with the knucks. Mina's down. 1, 2, 3. Tekla retains. Here comes the Sisters of Sin. They sit up here and they just stand tall over Mina, who's selling these silver knucks and hit. She looked like she got hit by a train. I mean, bro, she the most interesting woman on the show. She can know how to sell it. This was a good match. This match was the second best match of the night. And again, I will say it again. Get more women on the show. Just find a way. We had 6 matches tonight. 6. We had 2 matches that involved women. And one of them was a mixed tag match. Mixed tag. So they're in there with other men. Get more women on the show, dog. I know we had the Divine Dominion with the promo, but it don't seem like you're pushing anybody but like 3 or 4 women at a time. That's not acceptable. It's not. So Dynamite could really use that. So after this, we had a Ricochet's back on television. After the week he just had, he came in here, gave us a little apology. Appeared he blended in the apology of his real life with his wrestling antics. So, kind of mixed that together. Wasn't good enough for everybody, but we get it. So he's talking about how Kenny Omega gets a title shot after just getting one match. He said last time he fought Kenny, he beat him up, which he's not wrong. So Ricochet is trying to put himself over to be in title punts again because he says, I did not lose that battle royal at Revolution. Yeah, I lost. I did not technically lose. That's how he felt. And I can agree with that. It's fluky how he lost, but you lost. But yeah, I get it. So Ricochet's back on television. Wasn't gone too long, so you do with that what you will. Match 6, we had Darby Allin going against Roosh in a no count outs match. This match was your typical Darby match. Crash dummy or ragdoll if you're playing 2K. Yeah, he's the living ragdoll. Darby wins, and Roosh put on a good show. But we all know we might not see Roosh back on Dynamite for about 10 weeks. So yeah, Darby's won. They say he won 7 in a row. And the best thing about this is Darby gets destroyed at the end of the match. The Don Callis family has come to collect on the debt, on the contract that MJF put on Darby Allin. So yes, Mark Davis come out there and power drive Darby Allin, and then Lance Archer chokeslammed the hell out of Darby Allin. He's sitting in the middle of the ring, and that's how we fade to black for the show. Again, good wrestling show. A couple stories were furthered. We do have 2 matches for Dynasty so far. Well, we got 3. We got 3 matches for Dynasty so far, so they did progress into the pay-per-view. But other than that, a lot of these matches were just worthless. Like, what was the point of Speedball and Rocky Romero? What's the point of Moxley and the Death Riders versus Top Flight and Zeta Steel? What's the point in that? You're not going to I'm not going to use the term call up, but you're not going to be using Top Flight and Zeta Steel on Dynamite anytime soon. You just job them out. And I know wins and losses are not supposed to be big in wrestling, but when it comes to this company, it matters. It matters a lot in this company because the stories, which they do have a few, they're not great. So if you don't have any gold around your waist in this company, boy, Tony Khan ain't cherishing you like that, unless you Orange Cassidy. But yeah, you got to have some gold in your waist. That's how he feels about you in the moment. So that's Dynamite for the night, ladies and gentlemen. You let me know how you feel about it. This has been another episode of Over as Fuck, and I'm your host, Knuckle Brew the Hoss. We will be back here next week for Dynamite. And if you are a fan of other companies, I will be here tomorrow for TNA. I'm going to be here Friday for SmackDown, and we're here on Mondays for Raw. So thank you for joining us. And I'm going to leave you with this. Just because you may be down on your luck, that does not mean that you cannot be over as fuck. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.